Hey there. It's been quite a long time since I've done a video in this type of format, huh? Yeah, I've been sticking with live streams lately, but for this I decided to go for the more traditional sense. Now before I continue, I have a bit of a disclaimer. The title of the video currently, while I'm recording this, is going to be How Mega Evolution Should Not Return in Scarlet and Violet. It may subject to change, however, if Mega Evolution is confirmed or denied further on down the road when we get more Gen 9 information. And the title of the video will change to Mega Evolution Should Not Return in main series games at all, unless. I figured I'd say that real quick. Now, to a lot of you, this was probably not a big surprise that I'm doing something like this. Like, oh, there goes Jum hating on Mega Evolution again. Such a shocker. And yeah, anyone that knows me clearly understands that I don't like Mega Evolution. Never have, never will. You can never ever convince me. Now, I'm not going to go into full detail why I don't like Mega Evolution, because that's not entirely important for this video, but long story short, I think at the time when they were released, they were highly overprioritized and overpowered, and Game Freak didn't really put a lot of thought in making them. Because at the time, anyone that didn't have a Mega Evolution was automatically crap in comparison, according to some fans, not everybody. And anyone that didn't use the Mega Evolutions when they did have them is considered a fucking idiot, but that is just a personal opinion, I suppose. We all can agree that Mega Evolution is quite overpowered in comparison to some of the other gimmicks. It is still the most overpowered gimmick that Game Freak has ever made. And if they were to bring it back, it would just be another shit show in terms of online. Not all the time, but more often than not, if you choose not to use Megas when the other opponent is, 99% of the time you were going to lose, unless you are an outright pro at the game. Now, instead of just flat out saying, oh, Mega should never return, fuck you, because of course that's just me being a biased prick, I decided to take some time and think, how can we add Mega Evolution to the main series without it being completely overpowered? And unfortunately, because so many pseudo-legendary Pokemon got Mega Evolutions, adding more Mega Evolutions to standard Pokemon isn't really going to solve much, unless they have like a really broken ability or something. Because, let's be real, would you use a Mega B-Barrel over, like, Mega Salamence or something? Or Mega Metagross? Probably not. Maybe if you just love the design so much or something, but more often than not, you're going to pick the Mega Evolution more suited for the job, considering that you only can use one per battle. And downright banning some Mega Evolutions isn't really going to solve the case either, because, let's be real, if you ban, like, Mega Rayquaza or Mega Kangaskhan or something, then what's the point of even having the Mega Evolution to begin with? It's kind of pointless, and shouldn't even exist in that regard. And like I mentioned before, stat reduction isn't going to really solve anything, because the whole point of Mega Evolution is to get more powerful, or to increase your stats in some capacity. So nerfing the stats, you might as well just use the regular Pokemon in that case. Now, I've been doing some research, and I've come up with a way for Mega Evolution to be reintroduced in Gen 9, or any game going forward, without it being too overpowered and without nerfing the stats, or outright banning anything. Now, if anyone has played Super Mystery Dungeon, there is actually a mechanic that has been in that game that has never been in any other game, spin-off, main series, etc. Now, in that game, if you were to Mega Evolve one of your partners that could do so, eventually, after some time, they would go into what is called Berserk Mode. And the deal with Berserk Mode is that if you spend too much time in your Mega Evolved form, you would lose control of yourself with all the overwhelming power, and you would enter this state. Now, what Berserk Mode does is that the Pokemon completely loses control over itself and attacks random things, including allies, basically becoming completely unresponsive and just does whatever it wants. Now, where am I going with this? I think that mechanic should be put into Mega Evolution's code. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jum, that's a very fucking stupid idea. I hated it in that game, and I don't want it in any games going forward. Here's the thing. At least with Z-moves and Dynamax/Gigantamax, there was at least some sort of limitation that prevented them from being way too overpowered. With Z-moves, it was just one move, and that was it. And with Dynamax, it's only 3 turns. Now, theoretically, we could also make Mega Evolutions like 3 turns, or perhaps there's a different way to do it. I was thinking that the Pokemon, after a set number of turns, could randomly have the chance to lose control and go into Berserk Mode. And when it does that, there's a chance, like, For example, like, remember when you don't have enough badges, the Pokemon doesn't listen to you or just does whatever the fuck it wants? Yeah, I would consider the Pokemon to go into that sort of state, where, yeah, it has so much overwhelming power, it loses control of itself, and the trainer can't control it. Now, I'm going to be lenient and say it shouldn't happen for, like, the first 2 turns, at least, just so it's fair. I'm not going to say, oh, after the first turn, just, oh, Berserk mode immediately. No, that even I can agree that's fucking stupid. At least give the Mega Evolved Pokemon a chance to do some wreckage before it goes into an uncontrollable state. I was thinking maybe after turn 2, with turn 3 and beyond, maybe have like a 25% chance or even a 33% chance of it entering Berserk mode. And if that is also the case, the trainer should have the opportunity to revert the Mega Evolved Pokemon back into its normal state to maybe prevent Berserk mode from happening. So what I'm implying with this is that adding this mechanic would make Mega Evolution a little bit more balanced, but also add a layer of strategy to when you should use it, how long you should keep it out for, etc. Because this doesn't happen all the time, but I've definitely seen footage where some Mega Evolutions can just straight up fucking wipe teams, just flat out. I mean, yes, there's a possibility that you could counter it with a certain move or a certain type, etc. I understand that, but there's a lot of instances that I've seen that Mega Evolution just straight up fucking wrecks those who don't. Granted, I'm not entirely sure what the battle format was at the time, because I'm talking about, like, Omega Ruby F Sapphire footage that I've seen a while ago. And no, it wasn't Mega Rayquaza. Obviously, that fucker should be permanently banned. That thing is absolutely fucking broken. There is no way to balance him. Now, I understand for a lot of Mega Evolution fans, like, doing that sort of things would suck. There's a reason why the Mega Evolution is very loved, and even if I don't personally see it or care about it too much, I know that others do. Yeah, the designs are badass to most. Yeah, it's really cool just to, like, have your Charizard randomly just go apeshit on somebody else now that he's really overpowered. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of instances where if you compare Mega Evolution with any other gimmick that's been introduced, then it will win all the time. I'm dumbfounded that Mega Evolution was even in Sun and Moon, because if you compare Megas to Z-moves, who the fuck would use Z-moves? Just saying. I mean, unless you could combine them both. I honestly don't remember if you could, but let's just say you couldn't. If you want to use one or the other, which are you going to choose? You're going to pick Megas, without a doubt. If Megas were in Sword and Shield, what would you pick? Dynamax/Gigantamax or Megas? You would pick Megas. I know you would. So Game Freak, if by some reason you're going to add this mechanic back to the game, at least have some sort of balance to it. Adding new Mega Evolutions to the game isn't going to solve much. It's just going to become more of a clusterfuck, if I'm being honest. Now, would I still like to see it return? No, not at all. However, I'm looking for ways to at least be lenient and not be a complete biased asshole, and it would be nice just to, I don't know, have Megas in the game, but not have it be the only thing that matters in the game. It's the reason why I didn't like Omega Ruby F Sapphire so much. So basically, if they are going to add Mega Evolutions, it would be kind of cool to at least, like, add them in as, like, side quests, because this is an open world game. Or at least Scarlet and Violet is, because I don't know what they're doing for Gen 10. But in terms of, like, the current gen that I'm recording this, Gen 9, and it's going to be an open world game, it would be interesting to see if they were to add it, like, have the stones be locked behind, like, side quests or something, or just maybe the concept itself behind side quests. I would agree with that. That'd be actually pretty interesting, just as long as it's not the entire plot of the game. I don't need another Omega Ruby F Sapphire, thank you. If it's a side quest, perfectly fine. But no more Mega Evolution history lessons, please. Anyway, that's just me being a biased piece of shit again, but I can't help it. But if there's anything I can agree with is I don't exactly agree with the current state of Mega Evolution, as in, like, what they're doing with the overpopular mechanic. I can agree that what they're doing with it is absolute bullshit by putting them in all these mobile games, or side games that barely even have a reason of being there. I mean, did anybody buy Mystery Dungeon DX specifically because Megas were in it? I found it weird how it's in that game, but none of the main series ones. How did that work out? But still, having Megas be overpriced in Pokemon Go and be a thing that's extremely difficult to obtain in Pokemon Masters EX, Fuck that. Even I, who don't like Mega Evolution, can agree that's incredibly scummy, and I hate it when the company takes advantage of their fans. This mechanic is long overdue to come back. And a lot of the fans have been just demanding it in Sword and Shield as DLC. They wanted it in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, and they wanted it also in Legends Arceus as DLC too. So, like, the demand is there. Because I can understand why. It's a very popular mechanic, and a lot of fans like it. And it's just a shame that mobile games is like the only place that it exists in for now. I know it's a shocker coming from me, but I can at least have some leeway this one time. Have Mega Evolution be in the new games, just as long as they're done appropriately. Give the fans what they want.